Alex Perez, thank you for letting me come in here and find out a little bit more about the drop payment and how exactly that works, but specifically for San Antonio. So do you mind giving me a little background on how exactly the drop payment works?
No, absolutely, Spike. That's a good question. I get a lot from police officers because they don't understand how it works. In addition to their pension, they're able to take a drop payment. So they're going to get their pension and they also get a lump sum. So when they're retiring, they just let the pension know.
Okay, but what exactly, for me, what is the drop part? Is it part of their pension?
It is.
So then their pension amount, their monthly amount that they would receive is then reduced because of the drop?
That's correct.
So what's the motivation of the drop? Is that just so you can retire a little bit earlier, or what kind of tool do you use it as?
To create an income later. 5 years later, we put it usually in an annuity and then create income after 5 years, which is typically more than what they gave up in their reduction of their pension. So if an officer had a $5,000 pension and they took a 60-month drop payment, let's say it reduced to $4,000, 5 years from now, their annuity payment will be more than $1,000 a month. So by gaining control over that lump sum, they're creating more of an income for themselves later in life.
Okay, so you're using part of this tool and bringing it outside of the program. Why use a different kind of tool? Doesn't it seem like if you are in police and say that you might need a different kind of strategy? It's not the same kind of retirement as everybody else's out there.
No, not at all. In police work, their career is different, so their financial planning strategy should be different too. And I like using tools that enable them to create a better income later that's guaranteed, just like their pension is, because if they were to pass away, their pension goes to their spouse. Their drop payment should do the same, but a lot of police officers make that mistake and make a different choice, which doesn't guarantee their income later in life.
I was just about to ask you. That was literally what was rolling through my head. What are the mistakes that people make with this drop payment? I'm assuming spending it a little bit too soon, not actually having a plan for that money?
I think the biggest mistake that officers make is they put their money in their 457 deferred comp plan. I think it's a big mistake because you leave it alone, you get no service, there's no guaranteed portion of that type of fund where it continues to your spouse. It's just typically like a 401k or a 403b. So I'm not a big fan of that. I think when you're retiring, that's when you need the most advice. I think going into a deferred comp plan is a big mistake because you don't get any help after you retire.
Now, the deferred comp, when you're saying compensation there, the deferred part of it is that they haven't paid taxes on that money. What does that mean later down the road?
Higher taxes. You have to evaluate where your tax planning is going to be. Right now we're in a fairly low tax environment, but with the amount of debt that we're securing in our nation, you look at the economic trends, taxes are going up, and if you don't evaluate where's the best place to put your money, you may be putting yourself in a position where you're paying more taxes later in life.
And not just for San Antonio, but your focus of what you do at Spectrum Advisory Group is help police officers with their retirement outside of the organization, and if they want to, they can actually call in and set up an appointment to sit down with you?
Absolutely. My office is actually in the pension building, so I'm very accessible. So when people are getting ready to retire, they can come in, set an appointment, they can call us, they can click on the link. It's very easy to get hold of me.
Thank you, Alex. Just as Alex said, if you want to, click on the link below or call the phone number, set up your own appointment so you can figure out what to do with your drop payment and your 457 deferred compensation plan.